Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mike. I rise today to address an issue important to all Americans, not just Americans living on our border. Illegal immigration directly impacts our society, our safety, our security, and the future of our nation. Dangers posed by illegal immigration are many. The consequences of policies from the Biden administration are many and severe. Deaths from murder, poisonings from fentanyl, victimization of the innocent by human traffickers could all have been solved if only the Biden-Harris administration and the Democrat Congress were willing to secure our borders. I want to begin by sharing you a case that demonstrates, sadly, the dire consequences of our porous border and weak immigration enforcement. In my district in St. Charles County, Missouri, 2 innocent women were sexually assaulted by an illegal alien of Middle Eastern descent who overstayed his tourist visa. Yes, an illegal alien. Instead of returning home like he was supposed to, as our law required, he flouted the law and stayed illegally. And ultimately, he victimized 2 innocent American women. The trauma inflicted upon these women and upon many others like them is immeasurable. If we are to prevent this from happening again, we must remember that the pain is a direct result of the open border policies that have failed to prioritize the safety of Americans. Mr. Speaker, this is not an isolated incident. This is a pattern, an epidemic of lawlessness that has swept across our country. Criminals, foreign nationals, and even terrorists have attempted to exploit our immigration policy failures. Now, over the past 4 years, we have turned our attention rightfully to the southern border. But we also have illegal immigrants taking advantage of lax enforcement and overstaying visas without consequence. The story of this individual in St. Charles County is part of a pattern, with visa overstays being a large source of our illegal alien population. For that reason, I will soon be introducing the Timely Departure Act. This important legislation would require certain visa recipients to post a cash bond, which they would forfeit should they overstay their visas. Under this law, overstayers would be unable to obtain lawful immigration status for at least 4 years, and they would be unable to submit an asylum claim or withholding of removal claim after their scheduled departure date. Visitor, business, and pleasure visas are important to our economy, but they are being abused. Before the Biden administration's change to asylum policy, visa overstays were a leading contributor to illegal immigration. As of 2023, visa overstays accounted for 42% of the illegal population. This legislation is necessary to enforce visa exit dates, and I urge my colleagues to join me in supporting the Timely Departure Act. Mr. Speaker, our immigration system, which was once designed to be a source of legal immigration and lawful entry, has become nothing more than a wide open door, a red carpet. This must end. This is why President Trump and House Republicans have acted forcefully to protect Americans. Another border security issue is the abuse of our asylum process. Over the past couple of years, especially as Texas has taken action to secure its border, fewer illegal aliens have been entering our country by sneaking by border crossings like Eagles Pass or Brownsville. More and more illegal aliens are presenting themselves to immigration authorities and claiming asylum. Most of these asylum cases are bogus, and the Biden administration has not detained these aliens, but rather released them into the country with some far-off asylum hearing date to which they never show. And we've found time and time again that these so-called refugees are violent criminals. Under our America First border policies, this abuse of the asylum process is going to end. President Trump's actions at the border, his executive orders, and his diplomacy with Colombia, with Mexico, and with Canada show that he means what he says. He means business. And here in Congress, we will assist with legislation like the Laken Riley Act, and we will provide the funding for the border wall, border guards, and the legal resources to clean out the many bogus asylum claims. And a message to all the countries who are part of the problem: the era of the U.S. playing the fool ends now. Do not empty your prisons or coddle drug and human trafficking cartels at our expense, or you will face consequences. Another equally important issue is the open border policies of the Biden-Harris administration is the epidemic of fentanyl poisonings across our country. Fentanyl, which is smuggled across our southern border, is responsible for 100,000 American deaths in the last year alone. We have become a global dumping ground for the world's deadliest drugs, with Mexican cartels making and smuggling fentanyl and methamphetamine into the United States, drugs made from Chinese precursor chemicals. We will secure our border, we will build the wall, and yes, we will target drug cartels as international terrorists. Occasionally, we hear apologists for the open border policies of the Biden administration argue that somehow mass illegal immigration is good for our economy, or that some illegal aliens pay taxes. Well, it's nice that illegal aliens sometimes pay taxes, but these individuals fail to account for the full cost of illegal immigration. The strain on our economy has been profound. Taxpayer dollars have been spent to fund social services, health care, and education for illegal aliens. Money that could be spent better on securing the future. Money that we do not have with our $36 trillion debt. Not to mention the economic and social costs of the victims of crime caused by illegal aliens, or the lives cut short by fentanyl poisoning, or the immeasurable and lifelong trauma of the victims of human trafficking. Police officers, teachers, and healthcare providers are working harder than ever to accommodate an influx of people who have no legal right to be here. Democrats have told us to accept this as the new normal. Well, House Republicans and President Trump are here to tell our communities this ends now. Mr. Speaker, this crisis is not just a border issue. It is a national security issue. It is a public safety issue. It is a public health issue. And it is an economic issue. We must take swift action to protect our country, our communities, and our people. The Biden administration's open border policies have failed, and it is time for a change. In collaboration with Donald Trump, it is time to make America safe again. Thank you. I yield back.